Hey traders, this is Jason Jenkins, head trader, founder of Jenkins Risk Management. Hey, I wanted to do an update on the euro versus the pound. We've had a good month trading this. Team members in the room, the live room, as well as those trading the core short with me for a while now. Ever since the end of last year, my call's been that this is probably the long-term high that's in place here. This was exhaustion bar around Brexit and election. So this is a simple two standard deviation regression channel. You can see that the last long-term high was back here in 2008. All right, we had a nice ebb and flow. Nice ebb and flow over the last, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. And then cycled into the bottom of the long-term regression channel down here, and then you had a nice move back to the top. So these types of candles here at the end of a long run, all right, that signals exhaustion. All right, that's a topping tail, and this is actually a sell setup in our model. My traders know what this is. So we were shorting into this candle. I actually had to play some defense right here, but then was able to get short last year and then into this year. This is, if you can see, this topping tail, but we were shorting into that rally as well as a core position short. All right, so this is, I teach my traders, this is a bearish wall. About halfway is where you want to short. You can see that here on the smaller time frames. Okay, boom. If you guys can see this, here's your bearish wall. About halfway is right where the market failed this year. All right, so we've been playing this from a core short. We like being short the euro versus the pound. I think longer term the euro has a lot lower can go, at least a parity. That's been the call for several years, really. That's been my call. And cables looks to maybe found a low, so it's going to be a hard time as long as sterling is above so weekly levels, I guess I can get to in a second. It's going to be very tough for the euro being below 109, euro being below 112, and cable being above. Now let me go to the daily chart. Cable being above, let me turn off these signals. Right here, guys, this is called a real money candle in our model. So I like this double bottom down here, 119, 120. As long as that's in place and the euro continues to be bearish, I like being aggressive on the short side in euro versus the pound. It's going to be tough for the market to really get ahead of you. So here's the daily chart again, back to the euro versus the pound. This is that same long-term top. This was the cycle down. This is where we were reshorting, and then we've been playing February on the short side. There's a lot of signals here. These are my real-time alert signals that the model that I generate in line with the model. Okay, and you can see there's just a lot of green here. Here we were rebuilding the short, so these were out of the money lots, but then we got heavy into the break. All right, and so I wanted to highlight. This is January, covering into the lows. This is the last time I picked up my volume on the short side, or my size, I should say, my position size. Covering into the lows, reshorting, covered in the lows. We covered the lows this week, pretty much into the very bottom, the very low, and then just starting to reshort. This has a lot of room to come back up. We want our size back here towards 86. That's the top of the range up in here. Right up in here. That's the top. Here you have the pie line. So you reshort some today. The cycle can keep coming up. The daily cycle has actually turned back up. That was sloppy. If you look at the daily cycle, it's starting to turn up. So that kind of makes me think we can get back to 0.86. So this is a very light position for me, only short 200,000. I'd like to get this probably closer to 1 million, back towards 86. All right, guys, hope that helps. I hope that's a good update on the euro versus the pound.